Hi guys, welcome to Python tutorial. This tutorial is how to develop a reverse cipher using graphical user interface, also known as Ananym. So let me show you guys what I'm talking about. Supposing I enter, let's say, this world right there. So all we need to do is to reverse whatever I've written. Look at it. I'm going to reset and let's enter something else and reverse that to whatever that is. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take you guys straight into Python development environment and we put one of these together. Okay, let's do that now, guys. Exit out. And right here I'm going to import as follows. Then the next thing is I'm going to create a class, and this class I'm going to call it Reverse Cipher, and the class I intend to create in here I'm going to call it Reverse Cipher. Then the next thing I want to do now is to create a function. Okay, I'm going to create a function here, and this function we include the declaration for that, we include the geometry, the heading, and so on. So let's say define and initialize as follows. So I'm going to make that self comma root and close that, and make sure you enter a column there. Then the next thing I'm going to now do is I'm going to say self dot root, and that is going to be equals to root as well. So that's the very first one. The second one that I'm going to take care of, you see this dot root, that means this is going to be the name of my app. Okay, then the next one is going to be self dot root, and that is going to be for title, and whatever your title will be, that's the title of my product, is going to be called reverse word. Okay, and it's also called Ananym. So let me put that in brackets so you guys just know. You can always check on that on your dictionary. You should be able to see it there. So that is my title, and the next one is going to be the geometry, and followed by the background color. I just left that as black, and here I want the whole full string anyway. That's fine. The choice is yours. You can always reduce it to maybe, let's go for maybe about 500. I don't know, but for now let's make it 600 plus. I can always change that. Now the next thing that I want to do is I might as well just create the frames. Yeah, those are the frames I intend to use. Okay, have a good look at those frames. Let's move this up so that you guys can see it. Those are the frames I intend to use. I'm going to move that up. I suppose you can see those are all the frames. But the next thing is, let me run it out, then we'll run the program and you guys see how it's going to look like. And right underneath here I'm going to just round up my program. Let's take it up. That is it right there. So let's save it. I'm just going to copy that and say file, save as reverse or word reverse. So reverse words. There we go. Enter next there and just click on save. Yeah. Okay, if I run it now, this is what you guys will see, though the system is just going to tell you it doesn't take in any argument, but it still show out the layout of the frames. So there we go. That's how my frames look like. Here I have a frame label there. Let me show you my frame label. Right here, that is one of them, or label frame is called, that is it. Okay, so if I get rid of that, you won't get this text anymore. Okay, so that's why frame label or label frame is quite good for you guys to use. Okay. Okay, look at what's going to happen. You see that there's nothing in there, so I'm going to take that back. All right, undo and undo that as well. Okay, save, press F5. There we go. Now let's get rid of that. I suppose you can all see the framework. Now the next thing I would like to do, and that will be to create the label and the entry widget. So I'm going to enter those right underneath here. So let's say self.lbl ananym equals, sorry, that should be in, equals label, and this label is going to be right inside frame name. So paste that in there, comma, the font. I'm going to make the size of the font approximately, let's go for 14, change that to 14, and let's set a padding there, and this padding I'm going to make that 20. Then the text on this very label, that will be reverse word. Okay, let's say words, and border, make that 7. Close that, and I'm going to now run this up. So let's copy this very name and right underneath here I will then enter dot grid is going to be inside row 0 column 0. Okay, paste that in there, row 0 column 0, and here I'm just going to say strictly waste, uppercase W. There. So if I go to run, let's just save and run, then you guys see what I'm talking about, and that is how it looks like. Look at it, that's the label. So let's close that and continue. The next thing I want to do now is to add a text entry. So I'm going to just copy this and change 1 or 2 things around there. Come right down here, paste, and change this to txt, and here as well txt, and this is going to be on column 1. Okay, instead of strictly I'm going to say justify. I think that is how it's used on the entry widget. So change this to entry. There we go. Now some more changes are required. That will include the width. So let's say the width here. Now I'm going to make that 33, and text variable, get rid of all of these. Say variable. The text variable in this case, I'm just going to call it reverse word. There's been an error here. Okay, let's undo all of that. Yes, I made a mistake there. Yeah, that should have been here. Text variable. Equals reverse underscore word. There. This variable is not declared, so I would declare it. Let's copy and declare it right up here underneath here. Paste it there and just say string variable. Alright, so that is declared now. Okay, the border is 7, and one more thing that I would like to do is let's go for insert. set width, let's make that 8, and justify that will be left. Oh, it's already justified left. Okay, that should be here. Cut that off, that should be here. Alright, that's how it looks like. So I'm going to try it out now and let's see how it looks like. Let's come right here, just paste this. And one other thing is, I think, let me get rid of this insert. Let's cut it off. And since I have it justified there, let's run it and see how it's going to look like. There we go, and I can enter whatever data I want in there. Okay, the next thing now is to enter a text data up here and buttons below. So let's come right here, and there will be a text data right underneath here. I'm going to call that self dot txt reverse, and that will be equals text, and that will also be inside Ananym frame. So I'm just going to copy all of this and bang it down here. So let's see, I'm going to need the font. Paste the font here. And what about the width? I'm going to make the width about 50. Height, change that to something 8. And that's all there is anyway. So let's close that and just copy this. Dot, space that dot grid, that will be row 1 and column 0. Okay, I'm gonna have to change that to row 0 and column 1 here. Right. Okay, so I want it resident inside Ananym frame, so I'm just going to run and save it. Let's see. There we go. That is the test widget. So all that is left for us now is just a button right underneath there. So close that. I'm going to copy this and just grab a button on board, paste, and this will be for buttons. Okay, for the button it's going to be self dot reverse button. No, let's call it btn reverse equals button. Copy all of that, paste it there. That'll be button. That's the name of the widget. Now I want this button to be inside the frame called button, this very one. So come right down here, paste that frame called button, comma, add a padding. I'm going to make the padding maybe about 20, and the border. Okay, and text. So I'm just going to copy all of that, put it right here. Okay, so what about font? I want the font to be about 18. Copy the font, paste that here, and change this to maybe 18. And what else do we need to look after now? The text is there. Get rid of this. Alright, that will be all for now. So I'm going to just get this onto the grid, and I'll take it from there. Alright, close that, press enter, paste, and we just need to say dot grid equals column 0 0 0. Okay, column 0 0. Okay, let's run it and see. Save and run, and there we go. That's my button there. Alright, I need 2 more buttons. Copy these, paste one here, one there. So this one will be column 1, column 2. Now the text content on this will be known as reset. The text content on this is known as exit. There. And let's just change the name around. Exit and exit. The next is reset. Okay, so let's go to save and run, and there we go. That's it, guys. All right, now let's try to take care of the functions that will drive these very buttons. Make sure it's saved. So right underneath here, first of all, let me just copy this because I'm going to use that for reset. I'm going to define, let's say define, that will be reset. Enter column there, paste this there, and just say dot set empty. Now the other reset I'm going to take care of would be for the text, this text here. So I'm going to copy that, come right here, paste, and in that case I'm going to say dot delete, because that is the method that the text widgets normally go by, the delete. No, let's enter column there, that will be 1.0 comma, and there, that's the reset taken care of. Now let's take care of, I'm going to take care of the exit. As for the exit, I'll just call that I quit. Okay, that's the name of this method. And now we then say I quit equals tick enter dot message box. Yeah, that's it right there. Dot message box dot ask, and that will be ask, I think, yeah, ask okay and cancel. No, let's go for ask yes or no. Okay, I will then give the name world, or let's say reverse word. That will be the title, reverse word or words. Yeah, close that, comma. Then let me say confirm if you want to quit. Close that. And let's now use if statement. If I quit is less than 0, that should be a, that will be root dot destroy, because root is the name of the application, so we have to destroy it. So exit and return. There we go. So that's my exit taken care of as well. You see these two functions that I've just created, we can always call them. So if we come straight down the button here, this is for resets. Underneath here we can always, so in here just enter command. That is for my, okay, that's wrong, but let's put that in there anyway, that's fine. Then the other one here, this is going to be comma command, that is for reset, equals reset. And then finally command, and that will be equals to I quit there. But this one I haven't written that yet, so I'm just going to copy that. Well, let's just delete this and run it, then you guys see what I'm talking about. Delete, run and save. And there we go, we have an error. Let's check out the error. Command unknown. So let's see, what did I do wrong? Oh yeah, look at the error here. Here command in lowercase and here command in uppercase. It is case sensitive. It's meant to be lowercase. So let's save and run. Okay, let's try this out. Reset. There we go. Exit. No, exit. Yes, that is fine. The exit is working. That's good. One other thing I've just noticed is these buttons, they are not, okay, they're not proportional. So let's see. I'm going to have to add width. So right here, I'm just going to say width equals 8, comma. Yeah, repeat the same thing for the next one here, and that should take care of that. Alright, now let's take care of the last one here. So let's copy this. That's going to be the name of the function. So come right down here and let's just say function reverse. There, that's the name of that. Okay, as for function reverse, I'm going to first of all address whatever content I have in here. I'm going to clear it. So come right here, copy that and paste right underneath here. So I clear whatever content I have inside our text box. Then I'm going to define as follows: local variable message equals reverse word. That's it right there, this variable. Reverse word dot get. So whatever is in there is entered inside the message. Local variable. Then I want it to get translated. Let's say another local variable. I'm just going to call it translate. Translated equals, there's nothing in there. And if I, another local variable, let's say if I equals, let's lean whatever we have inside the message itself. I will say minus whatever you have in there. Now use while loop, y I greater than and equals to 0, enter a column there, then translated equals translated plus message, and get that message inside the square bracket. Then I equals I minus 1 there. Okay, so I'm now going to say self.insert. Insert whatever you have now in here. Paste that in here. Dot insert and end, comma, and speech recognizer there. So let's say reverse reverse word, and this is reverse word. Tab, and I'm now going to say plus translated. Let's see, translated. Copy that, paste it right here. Plus, maybe next line. Yeah, close that. And that's all there is to it. I don't think we need this. Get rid of that. So let me save it. Run and save. Let's give it a try. So let's enter as follows, translated, and see. Okay, we need to call this. I haven't called this very function reverse. I need to call that. Scroll right down where we have reverse there, button reverse, comma, command equals reverse. There. Now let's run it again. There we go. Enter reverse in there. I want it reversed. That's it right there. Reverse word. Put an S. There we go. Let's call that word reversing system. And there we go, guys. Look at that. Reset, reverse X. There, and that's all there is. But just before I go, let me just take it off so that you guys see all the codes. I suppose you can see that. I'm going to bring it down. Take it from here and down again where we have the buttons and so on. Okay, and take it right down there. So with that, guys, I'm going to call it the end of this tutorial, and you all have a nice day now. Bye for now.